Hello everyone, I'm Chef Sumit Samata, the Assistant Professor of Guru Nanak Institute of Hotel Management. For the past few weeks, for all of you, I've been bringing some interesting recipes. Previously, I have shown you how to make a croquette. After that, there was a pizza, and the last one, the video which I made was about Bengali cuisine, how to make a crab curry. Now today again, I have come with one more interesting recipe, but this is going to be again international recipe, and food is coming all the way from Italy. So what we're going to make today, we're going to make a snack which is very popular in Italian cuisine, which is called arancini. Now arancini is basically a rice ball which is being fried. Okay, so and in Italy they use different kind of rices for preparation of the risottos or arancinis. Specifically they use arborio, or they use cannelloni or valonano, which are all short grain starchy rice. But basically you can make it with any kind of short grain starchy rice. The arancinis can be made any rice which has a lot of starch content into that. So I'm going to give a twist to it, and not going to use arborio today. I'm going to use a truly Bengali rice which is called Govindbhog, and along with that I'm going to serve it in a katori which is going to be made out of flour. So let's go to the kitchen and start making this arancini. Okay, so we are in the kitchen, and to start with, to make the arancini, we have got Govindbhog rice, which is approximately 130 to 150 grams of Govindbhog rice. Along with that, to cook it, I have prepared some vegetable stock. Along with that, for the flavoring and seasoning purpose, I have taken half of an onion, which is approximately 30 grams of onion, which is finely chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, which I have finely chopped. Along with that, 1/4 of a tablespoon of oregano for seasoning purpose, and to give it a nice color, because we are using Govindbhog rice which is specifically used in Bengali cuisine, I have used 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. Along with that, salt. Now to give it a binding, what we are going to use a cheese slice, and I'm going to use Amul cheese slice, which one is enough. And along with that, to cook it, what I have taken is, I have taken butter, but whenever you are cooking with butter, it tends to get burnt. So to lower down the smoking point, we are going to use some olive oil, and as I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, I have got some truffle oil gifted by one of my friends. So again, I'm going to use that one only, and we have to crumb it, and then we have to fry it. So the crumbing process, we have taken. Along with that, we have taken some atta. You can take maida also. This is atta and maida 50 to 50 mixed together, which is also seasoned with salt. Along with that, we have taken some breadcrumbs, and we have taken one piece of egg, which I'm going to break, and which is going to help in the coating purpose. To make the katori, what I'm going to use, I have taken again a 50-50 atta and maida. Along with that, to make it khasta, we have to add some shortening. So I have taken half a tablespoon of oil and water. Along with the arancini, we have to give a dip. So I have prepared one Indian dip. So the dip which I have prepared over here is basically a mint chutney. So let's start making the katori first, and then we will start going with the preparation of the arancini. Okay, so we are going to make the katori. So as I have told you, I have taken atta and maida mixed together in 50-50. So what I am going to do is, I'm going to add the oil first, add a pinch of salt, mix it nicely. If you follow this process, what happens is that this process is done, so that we call it as shortening process. What happens, the oil or the fat, whatever you are adding into it, it gets nicely mixed along with it, as a result of which doesn't stretches, and it becomes, as we say, as the khasta, which means shortened, which means crumbly or crunchy when you are having it. So once this is being mixed together, we have to just prepare a simple dough, a dough which is almost like the dough which you prepare when you are making roti at your home, not so soft and neither too tight. So once this is mixed, we are going to add water and prepare the dough. Okay, so our dough is ready, as you can see. So what we are going to do is, we are going to roll it with the help of a rolling pin. So once this is being rolled out, what we need to do is we need to follow the docking process. That means with the help of a fork, what we are going to do is we are going to make some holes into it. Otherwise, what is going to happen, when it goes into the oil for frying purpose, it will puff up and it will not get the proper shape of a katori or of a bowl. So we make some holes into it, and then as you can see, I have taken a normal simple katori. So into this, what we are going to do is we are going to apply some oil into it. We will apply some oil on the sides. So what happens because of that, the katori will come out very easily. Now once the oil has been applied, we are going to place this in the center and then cover each and every side with the dough. Now the extra bit which you have, which is over here, what you will do is you can simply with the help of a knife or even with your hand also, you can simply take it off just like this. So now as it has coated, again at the back we are again going to do the docking. That means we are going to make the holes one more time so that it doesn't puff up. Okay, that's enough. And I have already switched on to the oil. The oil has become hot. You are not going to make it too hot, it should be medium hot, and into this gently just place the katori like this and let it get fried. It will take approximately 5 minutes to get fried. So as you can see, the oil has started to sizzle and our katori is getting fried. So you don't need to rush with this. It's going to take time so that it cooks nicely from inside and outside. And as I said, it has to cook in a low sim. Just like the way, if you have ever observed how a samosa is being fried, and I have learned from one of my chefs that whenever you are frying something, the sound from the fryer, what it should come, be it in a karai or a deep fat fryer, it should be the sound of the rain drizzles which you can hear during the monsoon. So slowly and steadily let it get fried. What I will do over here, I'll take some hot oil and put it over here so that the inside part also gets cooked nicely. Okay, so while our katori is still frying, we will start off with the preparation of the arancini. So I've taken a pan over here which is on a medium high heat. Into this, what we are going to do is we're going to add the knob of butter. So when the butter starts to melt away and starts to sizzle, what we are going to do is we are going to add the olive oil. And remember, this is the truffle oil. And into this goes our onion first. Here we are not going to brown the onion, we are just going to sweat the onions. So again, I think I have told before, again I am repeating, if you want to cook your onions faster, what you need to do is add a pinch of salt into it. while the onion has started to sweat, we are going to add the garlic. Now into this, what will go? We will add our rice, our Govindabhog rice. And nicely saute it till the time you see that the rice has started to change its color. When it starts to change its color, we will follow the next process. So this is going to take about a minute, and we have to continuously keep on sauteing. Don't leave it like that. For a minute we are going to saute it, and then we are going to add the rest of the ingredients. The rice has started to change its color. So what we are going to do is, we are going to, what I showed you in the beginning, I prepared some vegetable stock. I am going to add this stock, but not all the stock at the same time. When you are making risotto, when you are making arancini, you never add all this stock together. You add little by little, so that the rice releases its starch. Now once I have added this one, I am going to add the oregano, and I am going to add the turmeric powder also. And of course we are going to add salt for seasoning. And we are going to allow the rice to get cooked. Once this water has dried up, we are again going to add some more water, hot stock, and further cooking it till the time you see that the rice is completely fluffy and it has released all its starch. And then we are going to add the cheese. Okay, so our katori has been fried, and what we are going to do is very simple. You can take a small knife also if you have at your home. I don't have it. I am using the back of a spoon, and you slightly run it through and push it downwards, and what happens is, give it a gentle push and should come out like this. So our katori is ready. Now I am using it for arancini. You can use it to serve maybe even Indian chaats also, or any other dish, whatever you feel like. It can go as an antipasti or as a starter bowl. So let's go back and let's concentrate on our arancini now. The rice is almost 80% done. So when it is 80% done, as I said, we need to overcook the rice. So at this point of time, what we are going to do is, we are going to add the cheese. You can add mozzarella, you can add Amul cheese, you can add any cheese which has a elasticity into it. So I am going to add the cheese, but not all the cheese at the same time or all together, little by little, and you are going to continuously stir it till the first batch of the cheese which you have added has mixed away nicely, and then you follow on with the next batch. Okay, so as you can see that our rice has got cooked and it has become sticky. Now the next process is, we need to cool down the rice. So what I am going to do is, I need to take it out from the pan and put it into this plate and spread it so that it cools down, but it doesn't need to be cold. It just need to be at that temperature which you can handle with your hand, and you can roll it into arancini balls. So we'll cool it down maybe another 5 minutes, and then we will start making the balls of it and crumbing it. Okay, so our rice has cooled down, and then we are going to follow the crumbing process. So I have aligned my ingredients in such a way so that it follows in the sequence. So we have got the Govindabhog risotto over here, which we are going to use for the arancini. Next to that, we have got some seasoned flour. We have got one egg which I showed you in the beginning. I've beaten it up and added salt into it, and then the last thing what I have got is a breadcrumb into which I've added salt, which I will mix it. So let's start making the balls for the arancini. So we'll take a small amount of it like this. We'll go into the flour, put it into the flour, goes to the egg, and then goes back to the breadcrumb, and then both the palm we are going to shape it like this. Okay, so like that we will finish all the arancini balls, and then we will start frying. Okay, so all our arancinis has been crumbed nicely, and at the same time the oil has also become hot. So what we need to do now, we need to deep fry it, but we will not over fry it. Only thing is that everything inside the rice and everything is cooked. Only thing is that the breadcrumb, the coating what we have given has to be cooked into golden brown in color. So we will add it in the hot oil. So like that we are going to finish all of it till the time it gets golden brown in color. Once it's done, arancini is always served hot or warm. So once it is being done, I will come up with the presentation. Okay, so our arancini has been fried, and at the same time again our katori is also being fried. So let's fill it up with the hot arancinis one by one. Maybe one more. The mint chutney slightly on top. The rest of it to be served as a dip in a shot glass. And for the garnish purpose, I have prepared some marinated carrots, julienne. So I'll place it on top. And just to show you how the inside part of the arancini is going to look, I've got one extra which I'm going to break it. So the inside texture, you can see we have got a thin coating, and the Govindabhog rice which we have used instead of arborio rice to prepare one Italian dish today is ready to be served. Okay, so our arancini is ready. So as we have called it, Govindabhog arancini in khasta katori. So along with that, we are serving a basic Indian mint chutney. So today what I have shown you is how to prepare a arancini, which is an Italian dish, but I have made it with an Indian twist, more of a Bengali twist, by using the rice, which is Govindabhog rice, which plays a very intrinsic part in the Bengali cuisine. But at the same time, this is an influence from the Italian food. So again, as I always say, the next time when I'll be coming, I'll be definitely coming with one more interesting recipe. So till the time, please stay safe and take care. Thank you.